also will share another poem from where Byzantium has been taken. But to understand the matrix of this philosophy, this is one of the most difficult poems of the Byzantium, not selling to Byzantium. So selling to Byzantium do have certain ideas about the spirituality, which I will explain in a moment. But this is definitely one of the most complex poems of to go into this poem, it is necessary for us to go back to Selling to Byzantium. When Yeats wrote Selling to Byzantium, he received a letter from his friend. The name of the friend was Sturgeon. Sturgeon questioned his perception of nature and his perception of art. Look at the last stanza of Selling to Byzantium. Go back to that. Selling to Byzantium. The last stanza begins, once out of nature, I shall never take my bodily form from any natural thing.
Yes, sir.
What did W.B. Yeats say? He said, once out of nature, nature is in fact the cycle of birth and death. He said, once out of nature, I promise I shall never take birth in any natural form. Natural form is time generation, form of the time generation. Natural body I will never enter. What shall I enter? I shall enter only an artifact. He said, I want to be transformed into a piece of gold or a piece of bird. Keeping the ladies and gentlemen of Byzantium away.
Yes.
So a Sturgeon's question, W.B. Yeats, how did you differentiate between art and nature? Every piece of art is also the part of nature. Art and nature are inseparable. You say, I will not take birth in a natural form. I will take a birth in the form of a piece of art. Byzantium is a place where all eternal pieces of art and architecture are kept. So how does it make a difference if you are born as a human being or an animal, or if you are born as a bird in a piece of art? Because that piece of art, whether it is a metal or a flesh, both are the parts of nature. So how do you differentiate between nature and art? Did you get the question? Sturgeon, therefore, questions W.B. Yeats' perception of the difference between art and nature. It was this letter which prompted W.B. Yeats to write this poem Byzantium, which we are now going to. So Byzantium is in fact an attempt to solve this issue, to resolve the difference between art and nature, and to discuss how his perception in the previous poem was valid. Could you get the background?
Yes.
Let's come to the point. To prepare his answer, W.B. Yeats has written two stanzas in the beginning. This is not answer, but this is the preparation to the answer. Question you know. Question was, how do you think a piece of art is different from or beyond the periphery of nature? It's a little bit philosophical, quite imaginative. This poem Byzantium was published in 1930, almost 4 years after the poem Selling to Byzantium was written. So it took almost this time. Look at the opening. It is the untouched images of day recede. The emperor's drunken soldiery are abed. Night resonance recedes. song after great cathedral gone. Just for 4 lines. This poem opens with reference to night. It's not the daytime. So in the first verse, moving from mortal to eternal, this is more a contemplation of death than a contemplation of the difference between art and nature, or a contemplation of the difference between youth and age that we had in the Byzantium. It's more about death. It's more about the life after death. It's more about the darker territories of the kingdom of the dead, where the soul lives, not the living beings living in a world. It's a world of the soul living. That is why, quite suitably, the poem opens with reference to night. Look at this is the description of night. The unfurled images of day receive. Who are we? We are all images, living images, active images, but we are unfurled images. First, purgation is a state of relative tranquility and calm. Are we at calm? Are we tranquil? Are we absolutely passive? No. We are restless souls. We are restless souls. So we are unfurled. We are not furled. We are unfurled. Unfurled of what? What kind of purgation? We are full of desire. We are full of dreams. We have hopes and aspirations. We are running after it. And all our activities, all our thinking, the entire conception, the whole consciousness of humanity is burdened with all these desires, dreams, aspirations, hopes, frustrations, and all these leading to the activities of life. So life is almost full of burden. We are not unburdened. We are not unfurled. We are not furled. We are unfurled. So unfurled images are all living creatures. Unfurled images are images of humanity that are heavily still burdened by their desire. You remember in the previous poem that, oh, sages, come down in a direct motion, be the singing master of my soul. You remember that? And what we have to do? Assimilate me in the artifice of eternity. Remember that? Now he says, we are all unfurled creatures. So the picture is, all unfurled creatures have gone to bed. At night, the activity of the day ceases. All active, disturbed, restless creatures of this universe, as we human beings, go to bed. That means a relative state of tranquility has come. Not a final tranquility, relatively. So, if the day is full of activity, the night is a little restful. This is the unfurled images of day received. So, those images have received it. They have not grown. Activities have not grown. Activities have now ceased. And humanity, which is the image unfurled, is now at rest relatively. Simple image is that humanity has gone to sleep. The emperor's drunken soldiery are abed. The soldiers of the king are also sleeping. If they are abed, means they are in bed. This is a reference to the kind of strife that Ireland and England had. The whole of cultural strife is involved in this one statement that the emperor's soldiery is abed, means the soldiers of the emperor have gone to sleep. This is a state of relative calm. This is a state of relative relief, because so long the soldiers are active in the daytime, they keep on torturing us, because there was always a strife between Ireland and England. The emperor's soldiers were trying to torture the revolutionary Irish gentleman. Could you remember? I told you in the beginning, Yeats himself was a revolutionary in a way. gave himself for the Irish dictionary, and he always favored the Irish identity. Even in prayer for his daughter, he said that let her be confined to one river, no other water must tempt her. She should be confined to Irishness. Nothing should tempt her. This Irishness was under cloud of the emperor. So the emperor used his forces to torture the people who wanted freedom. This is political violence. And this political idea is in the mind of the Lugian when he said, well, the soldier, the emperor, the soldiery is a pet. The state of law. And all activities of the unpurged creatures have also ceased. Could you get the full line? So the unpurged images of Byzantium, the emperor, and then how are they? They are drunken soldiers. Drunken. It's not simply that after the day's labor, they have taken enough of alcohol and they have gone to simple ordinary. No, the true meaning is different. True meaning is that the soldiers are heavily drunken by power. The power and the vitality that has been given by the orders of the emperor. A soldier carries the orders of the government, and so that is his power, and that makes him in a state of, or puts him in a state of drunkenness. As a man drinks, he loses all senses and he is driven towards his own passion. Similarly, a soldier always carries the orders of his master, so he is drunken by power. And the image has got multiple images and in connotation. He says, these soldiers are heavily drunk, not with money, but with power. And power of cruelty, because they are cruel. They have been ill-treating the citizens. They have been killing the innocent revolutionaries of our time. So look at the state of scum. The unpurged images of their deed, the emperor's drunken soldiery are a bit. Night resonance received. The night life begins in the whole, in almost every European country. Life at night is more active than at day, or rather not just at all active. Night revelers are people who come from the club late at night. People who move out in the streets just for a walk, because in the Western countries they have their supper, their dinner, by evening, early evening. They don't have late night dinner as usual. So they have early evening dinner, and after the dinner, after 1 hour of the dinner, maybe the whole family will go out in the street. And they will come late in the night. Most of them will go to the club, to anywhere they are having a ticket or any company. So after dinner is over early, and they always move out. So they come back late in the night. They are regular, means they are all joyous people, shouting, singing, enjoying themselves, and moving in the street. So, if there is no sound of the revelers in the street, that means the revelers have also gone to sleep. One, drunken soldiers are asleep, unpurged images are asleep, just imagine at rest, and the night resonance. Resonance is the resounding of the sound, resonance of the night. So, it is the night that is resonating. It is the darkness that is resonating, and each image is image of darkness. Number one. As unpurged creatures, we are also darker creatures in a way, because we are not yet purged. The day we are purged absolutely, we come in the light. So when we are unpurged, we are still in darkness. So one is darkness. The other is that these drunken soldiers are also drunk, and therefore they create only nightly atmosphere, they create only death, they only torture, right? And therefore these are all dark perspectives of life. A soldier never creates a brighter perspective of life, he always creates a darker perspective. So there are two dark. And the third is that it's all dark because these revelers have also, the night resonance has also receded. Night waters of song. What has receded? There is no song in the streets now. It is dead in the night. So the time in the first stanza is dead in the night. Soldiers have gone to sleep, people have gone to rest, and all the revelers who keep late at night, they too have gone to sleep in a way, because there is no sound of the song of revelers moving in the streets. When they get back, they are cheerful, joyous, enjoying themselves, singing songs, getting back. So there is no song of revelers in the streets. Soldiers are abed, unpurged creatures as we are, we have the seated after great cathedral gong. Gong is the bell of the church. A cathedral is the church. It's a great cathedral gong. It has got multiple meanings. First meaning, that late at night when the bell of the church goes, that means it is dead of the night. Activities have ceased. It's time for rest, and that has to be made. So the first stanza says, and the first part of the stanza says that it is night, the last bell of the church has gone, revelers are not heard, there is no song heard in the streets now, soldiers are abed, and we all are unpurged creatures. We too have gone to our rest because we are tired. And we are unpurged still because we are heavily burdened with our desires. After great cathedral gong. Look at the other meaning. So when the church bell rings, it has got two meaning again. One, that when the church bell goes, it's a time for prayer. It's a time for meditation. It's a time for spiritual meditation. He says when the church bell goes now, it is time for spiritual meditation, not for physical activity. Could you get it? Yes. So all physical activities have ceased. Soldiers are in bed, revelers are not heard, no songs in the streets. All physical activities, earthly activities have ceased. Why? Because the bell has gone, and the going of the bell, the great cathedral gong is the bell. Just a minute. When it goes, it's time for prayer. It's time for meditation. So man should go into deep meditation. Look at the third meaning. When the bell goes, it's the end of life. You never know when the last bell will go. Nobody knows when the last bell will go. It's not the college bell. The university bell will be the class is over. Okay? There is a bell, the final bell, which is known as the last bell. Any moment it may ring. So when the great cathedral gong goes, this may be the time of death. And that's why I said this is a poem that takes you into the world of the dead. And for this entrance into the world of the dead, where souls live, not human beings live, it is necessary to create the atmosphere of the darkness. So night is there. The poem begins with reference to night. The time refers to this night. The activities have ceased. Okay, it has now been the time for meditation, you may say it is the time for prayer, you may say it is time for prayer. You get it? Final prayer. Farewell to what? Farewell to all mundane activities. Farewell to earthiness. Farewell to mortality. Farewell to enter the kingdom of the immortal. Soul never dies. Soul never dies. That in the kingdom of the dead, where who is the master? The Yamaraj. Because he is the person who gets the soul back. Yama. He brings death. No, Chitragut keeps the record of your life. Chitragut keeps the record of your life. On the basis of which we believe that the day or the final day of judgment, your allocation, your account will be opened and then the assessment will be made and the final judgment will be given by the divine, whether it should be put in hell or heaven. If there is any hell or heaven. I don't believe there is no hell. The question is because we are in our mind. So here we want to create an atmosphere. So three metaphorical perceptions are there. One, night is the metaphor of darkness. This darkness is the world of the soul, where souls live. It has its own life. It has its own life. But it's a different world. And to enter this world of souls, we have to differentiate between the human world of activity, human world of desire, human world of aspirations and hopes, human world of all sorts of efforts to achieve the aims of life. On the other hand, there is a world where souls live after the death of man. So when all activities cease, then a new activity begins. And that activity is the activity of the soul. So to enter the kingdom of the dead, we are preparing ourselves, and WBX's creative imagination is progressively moving towards that eternal kingdom of the dead where darkness has to prevail. So unfurl the images of the day, the sea. Emperors, drunken soldiers are dead. Night regiments received, night water song has disappeared because the great cathedral gong has gone. Then has run. With the silence of the night, so it is night, it is silence, no activity. It seems the world has ceased. The world has ceased. It's a temporary state of calm, temporary. It is a starlit or a moonlit domed state. In this a state of relative calm that the poet is standing in a church, that is great cathedral. And the cathedral is nothing else but St. Sophia's Church, which was referred to in Selling to Byzantium also. You remember that? In Selling to Byzantium also there was a reference to St. Sophia's Church. This again is a reference to St. Sophia's Church. Now he looks at the dome. This is the shape of the top of the church, or the top of the temple, whatever it is. Just look at the dome. Imagine that the poet is standing in the St. Sophia Church, and he looked earlier in Selling to Byzantium, he was looking at the wall of the church. You remember? On the wall he found the 12 apostles, and he said, "Oh sages, you are living in the fire of the divine. Why don't you come down? Help us. I want to be a part of that infinite fire." You remember that? Here now, he is not looking at the wall of the church, he is looking at the dome of the church. Now look at the imagination, dome of the church. When he looks at the dome is white. It has been painted. The dome is absolutely white. But the dome is also a physical structure. Dome is a physical structure. Physicality on the one hand, eternity on the other, spirituality on the other. It has a physical structure. But that structure lives in his imagination. When he looks at the dome, he finds the stars twinkling. So the dome, in his imagination, the dome of the church, which is a physical, confined, fixated structure, expands, opens up, and the whole sky is now visible. So physicality is breaking. Earthiness is transcending. His creative imagination is moving towards the world infinite. Look at that. A starlit or a moonlit domed state. The dome is a starlit. The dome is moonlit. There is a moon in the sky. There are stars in the sky. Imagine that there are countless stars in the sky. There is a moon also shining in the sky. So the dome confined becomes an open sky. What do you get it? The finity is in fact expanding into infinity. The finite is transforming into the infinite. This is how he is transcending. This is the sky, all above, all encompassing. A starlit or a moonlit dome is there. I'm reminded of the same image of the moon that was statically transformed in the first poem I got you. One is there. It says moon embittered. Okay, I'll bring to it again. The whole discussion. After great cathedral dome, a starlit or a moonlit dome disdain. The disdain has got two meanings. One, disdain means look down. So the dome is looking down at man. What are you, man? Impure creature, finite one, dying generation, mortal creature, and everything. I'm trying to catch the essence of that disdaining eye. Disdain means to look down upon. To look down means to consider. Don't look down upon me. That means don't hate me, don't belittle me, don't insult me. This great dome is looking down at humanity. So humanity is reduced to the status of a mortal being, and this spiritual sky where the eternal moon shines and the twinkling of the stars are there, they are laughing at humanity. This day they are looking at you with a sense of regret, with a sense of contempt. I am using multiple terms. A sense of contempt. This is the starlit of the moonlit dome disdains. I am reminded of Shelley's poem Adonis, in which he describes that life is a multicolored dome. What is life? Life is a multicolored dome. Every life has its own color. Humanity is a multicolored dome. But remember, all these colors are finally going to merge and become white. You know, we have got 7 colors, prominently speaking. If you mix all the 7 colors, it will become white. So white is the combination of 7 different, the rainbow, all the rainbow, 7 colors of rainbow. Chemically also it will mix 7 colors, the final result will be white. What is it? It means each one of us is a multicolored thing. But these colors are spots. These colors are spots on the white radiance of the divine. We are creatures of the divine, no doubt. But we make our life colorful. And the more we become colorful, the more we are a spot on the divine radiance of the white. So white is the color of the divine, white is the color of eternity, white is the color in which everything merges, all the colors merge, and therefore each color is a spot. When you think of a spotless piece of cloth, imagine a spotless piece of cloth, then there is absolutely no other color. But each life is a color because life is a multicolored dome. I am using Shelley's terms. Life is a multicolored dome. And therefore, it is a spot on the white radiance of the divine. So divine represents the purity, we are impure creatures. Divine represents the first image, so we are unfirst images. Did you get it? I understand. The multiple egos, or philosophical. Probably there is no other form of create which has got so many egos, okay, and therefore it becomes a little more complex. I am trying to split each and every image so that you may complete them. So a starlit or a moonlit dome disdains all that man, very important life illustration. All that man is, all mere complexities, the fury and mire of human sex. What are we? Imagine, I make it very simple. The dome is laughing at you. What are you? Oh man, you creature. You are nothing but a bundle of complexity. All man is, all that man is, all mere bundle of complexity. Man is a complex creature. Man has no clarity of vision. From where this complexity has been enriched? The complexity has been enriched by the multiple nature of desires we have. We have made our life complex because we have complex network of desires. And therefore, we have a complex network of activities as well. We are running from pillar to post to fulfill everything. So it is, a star because the moonlit dome disdains. What does the dome say? The dome says, oh man, what are you? I hate you. I look down upon you because you are nothing better than a bundle of complexity. Did you get it? This is all that man is, or mere complex. Mere, it's a word. Mere, it's a reducing it to the minimum status of existence. Mere, it's a mere complexity. No dignified presence of man has been seen here. So man, in fact, has reduced himself to a mere state of existence. We are simply mortal creatures, trying hard to fulfill our dreams and desires, and therefore we are absolutely mortal. So this eternal dome is laughing at us. So this is a kind of invisible communion between the spiritual and the mundane. The church is disdaining it. I'm reminded of a different kind of tonality that comes out of this word, disdain. There is another word, disdain. This disdain means there is a spot. A stain means what? A stainless. A stain means spot. Because this is a disdain. So the church is laughing at man. The divine is satirizing. The divine is critical. And considers man nothing but a bundle of complexity. Man is a complex creature, confused creature. Man is lost in the jungle of desires. Man is running from one pillar to another. Man is a restless creature. Therefore, man is unpurged image. Man is unpurged image, restless image. Yes, I will remove it from all that man is. All mere complexities, the fury and the mire of the human face. What are you? You are nothing but the fury and the mire of your face. Life is, or this body is a combination of flesh and mire, the blood and the mire, the bones and the flesh. And that which runs in your veins, which you call blood, is indeed nothing but your passion. O mortal creature, you all are nourishing different desires in your veins. You are mortal creatures, a bundle of complexities. You are full of fury, anger, fury and mire. Mire is blood and mire. Fury is another fire in which you burn. So man hates each other. Man compete with each other. Man, in fact, denounces man. Man becomes a complex creature because of the loss of clarity of vision that he has. He has lost all his spiritual vision. So he is a complex creature, mundane creature, mortal creature. But naturally, the dome disdains. The dome of the Saint Sophia Church, therefore, is symbolizing divine life. Dome is divine wisdom, and light is a multicolored dome, as opposed to the white radiance of the divine. So there is divinity on the one hand, mortality on the other. The first stanza, therefore, frames the presence of humanity as a complex creature and to define it. The first stanza presents the complexity of man. The first stanza presents the mortality of man. It also talks about the cravings of man, the dreams, desires, aspirations of man, the mad, frenetic movements of man, the heaviness of his vision. It also talks of the fever and the threat of humanity. Fever and the threat of humanity. We are all in fever. Fever. Everybody has his own fever. Somebody is running after money, somebody is running after something else, power, everything. Everybody has his own fever. And the fever has led to a threat. Life is not at ease. Life is not at rest. Life is restless. So the whole restlessness of humanity and the world on the one hand, and the quietness and radiance of the divine on the other. You get it? It's preparation. It's a preparation to answer the question that was raised by his friend. It's a very philosophical and very intricate question. We have faced this question and the answer later on. Look at the second step. Before me floats an image. In the first stanza, what is man? Unpurged image. Unpurged image. So you can say each man is unpurged, restless. Each man is crazy, mad after things. Each man has a fever in his mind. Each man's activity and whole life has become a pursuer of those desires. Man is subject or a slave to his passion. Shakespeare beautifully said, give me a man without a passion. Now in the second stanza there is a different image. In the first stanza it was unpurged image. In the second we have just an image. Look at this image. It's a very mystical stanza that words that Yeats has written. He has surpassed Blake in many ways. Before me floats an image. Man or shade. Shade more than man. More image than man. Look at the three combinations. The poet says, I find before me an image hanging, an image oscillating. And when I pay extra attention to this image to identify who is he or what is it a purged image or an unpurged image, I find it's not an image. It's a man. But when I pay attention, I say, oh, it's not a man, it's a shade of a man. Man or shade, I'm not sure. Who says? The poet says, there is an image oscillating before me. This is before the construction, creative construction of the poet, an image comes. He is trying to identify the image. He says, well, this is an image that comes before me. When I look at it, I find, is it a man or a shade? There is a difference between shade and shadow. Right? There is a difference between shade and shadow. Your shirt may have multiple shades. Could you get it? But the shirt has only one shadow. When you walk, you have your shadow. Your shadow follows you. Same separately. Could you get it? So there is a difference between shade and shadow. He said, when I look at this image which is floating, and how is the image there? It's not a static. Image is not a static. Image is floating. So this is a dynamic state of existence. Dynamic. With motion. So when I look at this image, the poet says, man or shade. The poet is confused. He cannot identify whether it is man or shade. Had it been absolutely man, then he has already identified the qualities of the man in the previous stanza. What are you? Oh, the man, all complexity. You know? So he wanted to identify the image as man or shade. And then he says, shade more than man. So he is not a man but a shade. If I make a comparison between man and shade, I find he is a shade, not a. So the bodily form, corporeal form of a man is now changing into the incorporeal form of a shade, an image. There are two different forms. So you get the corporeal and the incorporeal? No. Have you heard the word celestial? Have you heard the word astral? No. Well, everybody has an astral body. You have an astral body. Everybody has an astral body. Everybody has their physical body also. So when you go into deep meditation, for example, your physical body is here, but your astral body may come out. It may travel. I am reminded of a beautiful memoir that the British collector in one of the districts had written, and he said that he talked about a person. His wife was seriously in England. He was a district magistrate during British government. So his wife was seriously ill, and he wrote in his memoir, it's autobiographic, not a story. He wrote that I got a message from my wife, I have to go there, but I was unable to leave so quickly. It was very difficult. People used to go by the ship. It took months and months to get back. And then after one day, he got another message from his wife. And she said, I'm improving. Don't be in a haste. Come comfortably. I'm improving faster. After a month, his wife came to India. Because the fellow could not go back. Wife came here. And one day, the old head assistant of his office in the collectorate, he came with certain files to get it signed by the district magistrate. And his wife was sitting by the side. And she jumped out of the car. She said, well, I have seen this fellow. It was he who treated me. It was he who made me absolutely sure. Have you asked him, have you ever gone to England? I've heard about it. I've heard this. That man was in fact a spiritually enlightened fellow. A nice gentleman. When he heard from his district magistrate that he was deeply disturbed about the wife's health, he used his astral self. Through his meditation, he had a spiritual power. He was here in India, but his astral self traveled to India and cured the lady. After 1 month it was confirmed it was he who came. I saw him, he treated me, he gave me medicine. I can evidence and have full amount of them. He said, I will not complain that. I think that's right. The question is that every individual self with the spiritual enlightenment and powers developed can separate the physical self from the astral. So the astral body can come out. When he looks at it, it's a man with a physical perception. Shade is a different perception. When he looks at the shade, he said, well, more shade than man. First said he, man or shade. Then he said, more shade than man. And finally he said, more image than shade. More image than shade. So there are three stages. Man, shade, and then image. So when he compares the image floating before his eyes, he wanted to identify, he said, it's more like a man. No, it's like a shade. More shade than a man. And then final perception that comes to the point is, it's more image than a shade. So the final perception is that of an image. But why did it? A very ordinary reader can question, why did WBS create so much of confusion? He should have simply written that he saw an image. As in the first exercise, unfirst images, he might have said, first images I saw. Could have been very easy, but it could not have been possible because of the such a mysticism which was required to give suitable answer to the question that was hanging in. So a little bit of mysticism has been created, and this is deliberate. This is deliberate by the creative mind of the poet. So he said, we read the line quickly. Before me floats an image, man or shade. Shade more than man. More image than shade. So finally, the image that floats before the poet or his consciousness is that of an image. The image in the previous stanza was that of unfirst nature, and all those unfirst images have gone to bed. You remember? They have gone to bed. Here, this image is floating. So definitely, it is not the mortal image. Could you get it? I am trying to help you. It is definitely not the mortal image, because this mortal image may go to sleep for the time being at night and he is there. When the sun rises again, he is in his fever again. So it says that this is an image. This is an image which is false. It is free from the burden of mundane nature. It is free from the burden of the physical existence. Flesh is gone. Mire is gone. No bone is there. It's just an image. It's just a flame in your hand. It's a flame. You remember the previous sentence. Oh, sages, come down. You are a flame. Larger flame you are. You have become a part of that divine. You come down. Help me. I too want to be one with you. You remember? We discussed the telling about it. Here the flame has turned into an image. So before me floats an image, man or shade, shade more than man, more image than shade. So a headless bobbin bound in mummy cloth may unwind the winding path. This is very, very difficult, very, very complex image that the fellow has used. Look, bobbin you have seen, well, first must have seen. Can you show me the scene? Yes. You have a bobbin?
Yes.
The bobbin has a thread wound around it.
Yes.
Bobbin has a thread. Now look at the thread. When the thread is wound around the bobbin, the beginning of the thread goes inside, and you keep on winding it. Finally, the last tip that comes is at the top. So the first was in the bottom, and the last was at the top. Now, this first was the beginning of time. The last is the end of time. There is no beginning, there is no end. Mind it, that's the bottom. It keeps on repeating. And what is this thread? This thread is your memory. The bobbin is your life. In each life, there is a memory that winds around you. From the very birth, when you gain the consciousness, memory starts coming. An innocent baby doesn't have anything in the memory. But gradually the baby remembers. Sometimes you recall your childhood days, you say, I don't remember what my mother said, I was very naughty. You don't remember anything. Your memory, your bobbin starts from there where you record. Okay?
Yes.
So this is how time is recorded in the memory of man. In other words, it is the memory which is like a thread wound around a bobbin. Bobbin is the core of reality. It is the core of existence, that is life. And this life has got two bodies. One is physical, the other is astral. Physical, the other is astral. Bobbin is a hard metallic image that Yeats has chosen to identify the concreteness of imagination. I am talking about the craft of poetry. It's the concreteness of imagination that has been identified with a metallic image of a bobbin. You can touch it. It has a width, a dimension, and a circle. So look, it says, how many things do you remember? I told you, you remember from a certain time. Before that, you say, I do not know. Well, I often say, Lord Buddha remembered all his past lives, more than 550 lives. Then he could become Buddha. He couldn't become Buddha in the beginning. He was not Buddha in the beginning. He improved, he purified. Gradual spiritual purification continued for 555 lives. Then only he could become Buddha. But the difference between we ordinary people and Buddha was that he remembered each bit of his past. Do we remember? We do not remember even the whole of our existence. Okay? So much of that thread is memory. That was very complex image that we have to. Thread is memory. Memory and desire have correlations with each other. Never forget. Memory and desire have got correlations with each other. Desire is a burden that makes us unfurled images. Okay? And this unfurled images has got multiple threads of memory around it. He cheated me once, he is my enemy. He did it in 1970. Okay, look. This is my memory. Unfurled I am, because I want to take a revenge. Unfurled I am. For last 20 years I am unfurled. I want to take revenge against you because you cheated me 20 years ago. This is my memory. Did you get it? So look at it. It says, well, it's hatred bobbin bound in mummy cloth. There are two images. One, first, let me clear the bobbin. Bobbin is that core of existence around which the thread of memory is wound. And when enough of memory circulates around it, then your consciousness is captured. Okay? And if you want to recollect the past, you will have to unwind it, because the past has gone. Remember that? How did you start? You started with the top, which has gone into the bottom. So if you want to go back to the first, you will have to go deep, and you will have not to wind it, but to unwind it. Could you get it?
Yes.
So this winding and unwinding are the two parts of human existence and the journey of life. Winding is journey, because you have winding of our memory from the time you remember. Okay? And an old man sometimes, the patient of dementia, he does not remember it, he doesn't identify it. Why? Because we have forgotten everything. Memory is wiped out. This is a lucky one. With memory is a big burden. important. So this is an existence around which the memory threads have moved. And your existence is captured, conditioned, tightened, tied to your memory. Are you free? Right. Therefore, we are unplugged teacher, because we are all tied by our memory. Once we become free from this burden, as he said, once I am free from the earthly life, I will not come back. That's not the question. Because once you are trying to know your past, the necessity is to unwind the body, unwind the body, unwind the body. Can you do it? Probably not. Why? Because so long you are living the mundane life, so long you are living the earthly creature, okay, as an earthly creature, you are still winding and winding and winding, because every fraction of your consciousness is wound by a certain kind of memory. 2 minutes ago you had a different memory, 2 minutes thereafter you will have a different memory, okay? So every time the thread is capturing you. Now this is the thread, which is also a symbol of cloth. Where the dead body is wrapped in a white cloth, like the mummies in Egyptian graves. Go back to the mummies. Right. We wrap the cloth till we cremate it. The man dies, his body is covered in a white cloth. Till you take it to the grave, the body is wrapped in the cloth. Very comfortably, you place him in the grave, you cover it with the mud. The body is wrapped. This thread has become the mummy cloth. And he is buried with all his memory. I am trying to make it very simple. Could you get it? When you wrap the dead body, the cloth, in fact, is the woven pattern of all his threads of memory. Metaphorically, symbolically, he is buried into the grave with all his memory. So two images here. One is that of a bobbin, and the other is that of an Egyptian mummy. But we do it only for some time. The mummy is still kept in the Egyptian grave, understand, they are of 2,000 years ago. Thousands of years ago, mummies are there. So it is also related with time. That's why I said time, memory, desire, physical existence, astral body, spiritual urges, mundane burdens. These are some connotations and notations of the thought of this poem by Byzantium. It's not spelling to Byzantium. Could you get it? Are you feeling burdened with it? Are you still feeling your attack? Could you get it? Getting the point? Are you getting the point? Look, I will explore each and every image. Head, who is head? Head is the master of the kingdom of the dead. In Christian philosophy, head, as we have Yamraj. No Yamraj can match a man. Because man is a better Yamraj than Yamraj. It's a very clever creature. Man is a very defective creature. That's why it gets a bundle of complexity. Very difficult to understand man. I'm reminded of Pope also. Presume not God will scan the proper study of mankind is man. He said, well, why? He was a criticism against metaphysical poetry. Metaphysicals were trying to explore the existence of man and God. He says, hell with it, to hell with it. The whole society is before you. If you are interested in philosophical subject matter, complex and intricate subject matter, go to man. Man is the most intricate subject. Man is the most complex creature. There is no creature who can match man. If you are interested in complexity or metaphysical, why don't you go to man? Pope said, presume not God to withstand the proper study of mankind is man. It has a different connotation because it's the kind of 18th century philosophy that also some reality away from the metaphysical perception of God. Now here it is, hate is in fact the master of hell, or the master of the kingdom of the devil. Okay? To lighten your mind, I will let you know something, and that is a beautiful one. The man is more dangerous than Yamraj. It's so happy. I don't know. I don't classify it with any caste or creed or nature or intellect or family culture. My wife and husband, they are traveling in the house. It was a mud house, small one. The messengers of Yamara, they are sent to that village to pick one man who was going to die in some minutes. And they were passing through that house. They heard the voice of a quarrel between a wife and a husband. Husband and wife are common everywhere. So, they said it is better to die. Well, the wife and the husband quarrel, they are all willing to die. And this poor, innocent, illiterate, because they didn't have a degree from custom in their people. They heard of, here is the couple who are going to die. So, wait here. This was the place for master center. So they speak. They were living creatures. So they entered the center. Join us. They have come to receive you. So the messenger of death, the god of death, had arrived. He said, well, why are you taking me to your place? I am not willing to die. He said, no. My master has ordered. You will have to go with me. So the husband was said, you accompany me. The fellow was very intelligent. He said, okay, will you allow me to change my dress? No. So he went inside the house, he came back, readily, well dressed. Okay? And then he joined. He was taken to that place, the Hateful Kingdom. I'm talking of the Hateful Kingdom, the master. When he was brought before the king, Yavraj, he said, well, what have you done, my dear? I sent you to bring somebody else, you have brought somebody else. So he rebuked his messengers. They were innocent creatures. Without any qualification, I told you. He says, okay, sir, I am happy with you, but I have a message for you. He took out a piece of paper. Okay? That gentleman, young man. So he gave this paper to Yavraj. When he read it, he was badly disturbed. It was a different order. He said, okay, you please come. He invited the man to sit on the throne and he left the place. He went to God because there was a message. Hand over the stars to the bearer of this letter. Hand over the stars to the bearer of this letter and come to me immediately. So he rushed to the master. He said, I am here. What is my fault? He said, I haven't asked for you to come here. He said, you have sent a message. Where is that? I have not sent this message. Then he realized the fellow had cheated. He came back. He got pardon from him. Punished his messenger. And very honorably sent him back to the earth. He said, I am very sorry. My messenger committed a mistake. Please pardon them. You were not supposed to be brought here. So this is a clever man, a creature. Even Yavraj will have to be careful about it. Be careful about it. It's a very deceptive creature. Very dangerous. It looks something different, it is different. So before me floats, come back to that. Before me floats an image, a man or a shade more than man, before or more image than a shade. For headless bobbing bound, head is the master of the kingdom of the dead. Headless bobbing bound in mummy cloth may unwind the winding path. Only those souls, I simplify, only those souls can unwind the path of their winding who have entered the kingdom of the dead. We cannot unwind. Can we? We cannot. Unwinding is possible only when we achieve this spiritual act. Only when we leave this physicality and turn ourselves into a body. So it is that he alone can unwind the path. Unwind the path. It's a journey. I told you, like it? Journey. And the whole life is like a bobbin. Okay? And your memory of your life is moved around it. Who can unwind it? Who can unwind it? Only one who has left this physical body, the body. Body is the physical. So one